Tell us a little bit about what you think about Mekhi Becton going to the Jets and how he'll fit in with that team. What will he bring?
Well, number one, the size that he has and the power and the speed off the ball is incredible. He's going to work hard too. He did a great job for us when he came into our program. When we got there, actually, he's 390 pounds. Ended up getting down to 360 range, 365. From the very first moment we saw him move in spring practice, we were all blown away. So he's got extreme talent for a man that size. It's incredible. There's not many people walking this earth that are that big.
Hey, Scott, Pete Thamel from Yahoo here. You obviously took over a program that was 2-10 2 years ago. They went 8-5 this year. Is obviously one of the biggest transformations in college football. Mekhi underwent his own transformation that you just mentioned. I'm kind of curious if you can talk about for us how those two things combined.
Yeah, I think the first thing we had to go in there and do as a coaching staff is establish trust. And that's the first thing that we did. And then all we talked about was attitude and effort. Come into office with a great attitude and give the kind of effort we're going to need in order to be a great football team. And that works as an individual also, just like Kai, what he was able to do with his body and how much better he became as a football player. It was a lot of hard work, I'll tell you that. I've been coaching college football for a long time now, and that was some hard work every day by our whole staff. Our staff did a tremendous job from top to bottom, all the way through, particularly Coach Mike in the weight room with what we did with the players as far as strength and conditioning and get them all into shape, and then our coaches with the X's and O's. But it's a great transformation of a football team and ended with a great bowl win against Mississippi State.
Coach Eric Edholm here. I had a blast watching Mekhi on tape. It was really the Clemson game where I first started taking notice of him and said, here's an elite athlete amongst elite athletes. I was very impressed with him. But I was also impressed by a quote you gave earlier this season. You said, Mekhi has been a leader for our offensive line and our offense as a whole. We don't always think of offensive linemen as sort of being these team leader types. Can you give us an example of how Mekhi was able to sort of assert that leadership and make an impression on you like that?
Yeah. Well, I think it's particularly as a new coaching staff coming in, you got to get the buy-in from the players. And people look up to Mekhi. You're just going to look at it and figuratively and literally. They're looking up to him. So I think for him, the leadership that he brought was able to rally the team around us as coaches. And then he really bought into everything that we were doing. And then our players just kind of followed him. They didn't know how good they were going to be this year. We had no idea how good we were going to be. We took it one game at a time. Right from that very first game against Notre Dame, our guys went out and played extremely hard. We were in the game all the way there to the fourth quarter. So I think it gave us a lot of confidence as we headed it throughout the season. And just ended up having a lot of great milestones throughout this year. But guys like Mekhi Becton and the leadership that he brought for our team, and particularly our offensive line, we are a team that we lean on our offensive line tremendously. That we run an offense that we feel like translates well to the NFL of what we're doing, very similar to a Baltimore Raven, San Francisco 49ers, Tennessee Titans, those type offense. That's why I think Mekhi will fit in very well in the NFL schemes once he gets there. And he was dominant against some of the talent we went against this year in the ACC.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We love the insight. Good luck to you next season and stay safe, okay?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thank you, guys.